Hello, my name is Aaron. I am a certified life coach, mindfulness and meditation practitioner, and mindset guru. And this is the second video that I am doing about journaling. And in this video, I want to teach you how to create a structured weekly journaling routine for self-inquiry or self-discovery. In the first video, I gave you different uses and different examples of different types of journaling activities and journaling prompts and suggested resources, because I realized that journaling is a big topic in the self-care and personal development world, but there are some people who are still not sure exactly what does that look like or how do I do this. So I wanted to offer my input and what I do. And a part of that, journaling is a big part of my life, and it is a big part of my master classes and workshop series. We do a lot of journaling, a lot of self-exploration and self-inquiry. I wanted to offer how I personally construct a weekly journaling routine for myself. Say if something's going on, and I'm the one who's making the prompts. Typically people get journaling prompts from someone else, but how can you make your own journaling prompts, and how can you make sure that they're targeted and they're going to serve you well? But before we dive into this content, make sure that you go ahead, show me some love by hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notifications on all future videos. If you have been here before and you are enjoying the videos and the content that I create, consider supporting my channel and my work by either grabbing one of the resources that I have in the description box, or even consider joining Sacred Sunday Space. This is a private workshop that I host 2 times a month, and it is focused on self-care. You can learn more about it in the description box below. It's going to be through my Patreon. But let's go ahead and dive into the content. Okay, so there are 5 parts in this process that I'm going to give you, and typically, honestly, I would do this on a Sunday. So I'm telling you the real deal, what I would do. I would do this on Sunday. There are times in my life where I'm really focused on self-care and I'm really active in my self-care practices and my processes, and then there are times where life takes over and I'm doing something else. Pretty sure just like everyone else. But when I'm on it and I'm like, you know what, I really want to use journaling as a tool for this month, and say there's something going on in my life experience and I'm like, I want to journal about it. I want to use my journal as a resource and as a way to help me get through this. So what would I do? The first thing is to set your intention. I would set an intention on Sunday. And so I'm giving you an example that I'm using for this video, and the example is, how can I get to a better place in my relationship? Sometimes when we think about self-care and personal development, one of the things that comes up is relationships, our relationships with ourselves, our relationship with other people, the world around us. But many people have a boo thing, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner, and sometimes we get in these places where we have issues in our relationship. So maybe you're working on your self-care, your personal development, but you're in this place and you're like, you know what, how can I be in a better place in my relationship? Maybe that's your intention. Okay, step 2 is going to be to select the amount of days that you would like your routine to last. So maybe you're doing it all week, so it's going to be Sunday to Sunday, so that'll be 7 days. I advise, sorry, it cut out a little bit. I advise when doing self-care and things like this, that you select activities and set yourself up for success. So I do not advise doing some complicated self-care routine or setting that up and then eventually you just fall off and you stop doing it because it was so overwhelming. So you don't need to journal every day. Maybe you're not going to do 7 days. Maybe you're going to do 5 days. You're doing this on Sunday. In this example, you're setting your routine up on Sunday for the week. And you're like, I want to use journaling for the week. I'm going to journal Monday through Friday. So that's going to be 5 days for my amount of days. Step 3, number 3. Step 3 is going to be writing your prompts. So there are different ways that I write writing prompts. The way that I am going to give you today, I call this the progressive path. So this is just going deeper and deeper and deeper into a topic. And I think that this is a very easy approach to get the hang of and to create prompts for. So since we're going to do 5 days and we're going to journal Monday through Friday, I'm looking at my notes down here. We're going to journal Monday through Friday. So every day in my journal, I actually have some journals right here. You all can't see them. Let me open one up. So what I would do is on Sunday, I would open up my journal and I would write Monday right here, and I would write a dash in my prompt, and I would give myself 2 pages, and then I would write Tuesday in my dash, my prompt, 2 pages, Wednesday, and so on and so forth. And so maybe, on a scrap piece of paper, I write out all of my prompts first to make sure that that's what I want to, work on. So Monday, my prompt could be, why am I so upset in my relationship? On Tuesday, my prompt could be, what would my relationship look like if there were no problems? On Wednesday, my prompt could be, what is it that I want from my partner? On Thursday, the prompt could be, what can I do to be a better partner? And then on Friday, we end up with our question of intent. How can I get to a better place in my relationship? So maybe I'm going to take my time and journal about this journey on this progressive path to my answer Monday through Friday. And then along the way, I'm going to learn a lot about myself, going through that process of self-inquiry and self-discovery. The 4th step that I have for you is going to be creating your routine. So I just want to give you a few tips about this, because I know that when it comes to self-care, one thing is that a lot of people start off like, oh, I love self-care, I want to do it. But then after a while, for them, it turns into a chore, and then they stop doing their self-care practices because they feel like a chore. And sometimes just things get in the way, and it's just hard to commit to your self-care practice. So I think I wanted to give you 3 tips in order to help you with this, to make sure that you actually make it to the finish line. We want to make it to the finish line. So our 4th one is going to be creating your routine. So I have 3 little steps in here for you. The first one is going to be select the time and space. When I meet with people, a lot of the one-on-one clients that I work with are people who honestly are looking to develop their self-care routines and to dive in deeper into self-care. And one of the things that stops a lot of people is like, oh, I don't have the time, or I just, I'm so busy. And people say that we're all busy. Just keeping it real, we're all busy. So to me, self-care is not a luxury, it's a requirement. So in this day and age, you really have to take care of your mental health. You have to take care of your well-being. So it's not a luxury for me, it's a requirement. So I make the time, and it's that serious to me, and I hope that it would be that serious for you as well. So I say select the time and the space, so you're not even giving yourself any excuses on, I didn't have the time, I couldn't find the time, there was no time. Just set the time and the space. And this looks like, I'm going to write in my journal, I'm going to have self-care time from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and I'm going to do this in my bed. Or from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and I'm going to be in this corner of my living room, or perhaps in my designated self-care space, or near my altar, or in the garden, wherever you want to be. So you want to set your time and space so you know where you're going and when you're going. You already know, okay, 7 o'clock rolls around, we need to be eating dinner right now. Things need to be getting taken care of, because you already know what time it is when 8 o'clock rolls around, so there's no excuse. The second thing is going to be to select your tools. So if you're going to journal, you probably want to have a pen and a journal. So you want to have your journal and you want to have your pen. Okay, I like working with tools that make me call to me. And I think I already talked about that here on my YouTube, making a self-care practice that calls to you. So when you fall off of it, it's easier to get back on it because your body, your mind, your spirit craves the things that you do because they are nourishing for you. But to me, that the tools also play a part. So I like working with crystal pens. I actually have a variety of these on HIYERAlignment.com. This one is a gold crystal pen with a pyrite crystal. A lot of people use pyrite as a stone of action and money and manifestation. If you're interested in these, check out HIYERAlignment.com, and I'll include the link to these in the description box below as well. But select your tools, even if that means, okay, I'm going to have a cup of tea, I'm going to light incense, whatever it is that you're going to do, have that already set in stone as well. And that goes into my third little step here for you: set the mood. Setting the mood and making if you have time, even though I just said self-care is not a luxury, you can make it luxurious, okay? You can make it luxurious by adding incense, by adding different elements, by adding a cup of tea, by adding elements that appeal to your senses. And once again, this makes you want to come to your relaxing practice at the end of the day. It doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like a luxury. It feels like a vacation. It feels like, ooh, peace and well-being and tranquility for myself. And that calls to me and makes me want to engage in it, and it doesn't feel like a chore. So the fourth step that I have for you was to create your routine. Then our fifth and final element, and this isn't really a step, but it's an add-on, so I'm calling it an element. I honestly don't even remember what I started calling these in the beginning, if I said step 1 or tip 1, but we're on number 5. And using journaling as an add-on practice. So I think I talked about this in the first video of these two, of the Journaling 101. That's what I'm calling it right now. But using journaling as an add-on practice. So this could be built into your structured self-care routine. I have an entire video on creating a structured self-care routine, 4 steps to creating one. And I kind of just went through some of them here. But maybe you're going to do other things. Maybe you're going to meditate. Maybe you're going to do EFT. Maybe you're going to do 10 minutes of yoga, or from YouTube, from one of your favorite YouTube channels. Whatever it is that you're going to do, maybe you're going to use journaling as another practice in a structured self-care routine. Adding journaling in on as an add-on practice, it could also look like doing yoga nidra. So this is a practice that involves allowing the body to go to sleep while the mind remains awake. You go through various phases, brainwave phases, all the way down to the bottom, where you're experiencing and allowing the body to experience states of deep rest, where restoration and rejuvenation can take place. It's a beautiful practice, and I'm actually getting my Yoga Nidra teacher certification right now. So soon I will be coming out with workshops and content centered around Yoga Nidra as another practice that you can learn here on Higher Alignment. But maybe you're going to use journaling after that, or maybe even guided meditations. There are tons of guided meditations here on the Higher Alignment YouTube channel. Say you're like, you know what, I'm going to do a guided meditation, and I want to use journaling as a way to further that practice and further my self-inquiry and my self-discovery. So my phone just died, and my battery in my phone storage is also running low, so the universe is like, hurry this video up. So continuing to move forward, anyway, you can use journaling as an add-on to your other practices like Yoga Nidra, guided meditations, or even for goal tracking in your EFT to see how do you feel after your sessions. The same thing I was saying about the guided meditations. After you finish that, maybe you want to jot down some insights or some inquiries or some discoveries that came to you. And also with dream journaling. So when you're practicing doing dream practices and dream work, then you're going to be probably dream journaling as well. So I hope that this video has helped you learn how to create your own structured self-inquiry journaling routine to use on its own or with another practice for self-care. Make sure to check the description box so you can get all of those good resources. And if you have any questions, drop those in the comment section below.